Hey, fat fish heads! It's time for another edition of the hottest new podcast on all platforms, Fat Fish. Sit back and strap yourself in for the wildest ride on the open seas. Now, flap your fins for the fabulous Fat Fish brothers, Eric Fish Snyder and Brad Grunny Grunberg, a.k.a. Snacks.
Number 75, baby. How are you?
Great. Oh, my God. We're going to pay a little homage right now.
Yeah.
I have college football in the background. Gus Johnson and Joe Klatt are doing the West Virginia Penn State game. It starts 9 o'clock until 11 o'clock tonight, buddy. It's college football in its entirety. The sports books are going crazy right now.
I love it. I love it. You love your football.
I love my football.
You love your Texas. Who are they playing today?
Texas goes at 12:30 our time, Pacific time, to play Colorado State. And it's funny to say that. Matthew McConaughey is the only celebrity I know. He's the biggest Texas alumni fan there is. Well, I'm a big fan too. But watch during the game. Somehow he's standing next to the coach, Steve Sarkisian. I don't care how big a fan you are. If Rob Lowe loves SC like he does, you don't see him standing next to Lincoln Riley, the head coach of USC. It's the craziest thing that I bet you Matthew McConaughey's probably telling him what the plays because he's such a big booster. So,
oh God, Matthew McConaughey. I mean, the guy's got an all-access pass, right?
He
can do anything you want. Yeah,
well, you too for the Warriors. I know that sometimes you're the 13th man on the bench. They go to the 12th man, and you're sitting with Steve Kerr. So.
Yeah, I'm eating a sandwich on the bench, ready for Steve-O to call me in. I'm ready. You ever see the Happy Days episode when Potsy was on the bench and the coach goes, Weber, and he looks at the coach. He had his clothes under his uniform. He didn't even have his jersey on.
No,
goes, Weber, get back to the locker room. Put your jersey on. It was hilarious. He had his sweats on, but under it he had his clothes because he never played like me. So.
Well, you played. You played at Uni High School, and you were good.
I did. I played. I had so much fun, boy.
You did. Everything you do is fun. Can I tell you about my day yesterday? And I'm a huge hypochondriac. That's one of my biggest maladies. Is if my grandmother. We talk about her.
There's many things wrong with you, buddy.
Oh, there's a lot of things wrong with me. If we talk about and we pay homage, and we're going to tell Nanny or Poppy's story later about Nanny Klein, and then so every show we're going to pay tribute to our grandparents. So my grandmother was the type of person, rest in peace, Rose, my mother's mother. If you said to her, and I hate to say this, Nanny, how you doing today? I have an itch. It's cancer. I go, it's an itch. That kind of person, Well, I got that from her, not to that extent. So. I turned my head about 2 weeks ago, and then I felt this pain in my arm, in my forearm, my two fingers, the pinky finger, Brad, and the ring finger went numb, and major headache on my left side of my eye. Don't think it goes away, comes back, this and that. So I'm the idiot that watches all these shows and goes online, and I'm watching this show right now. I'm streaming a show called Royal Pains that came out 10 years ago on USA Network about a little Jewish guy that's what's called a concierge doctor in the Hamptons. And he's the kind of guy that if you get sick and you think you have a stroke, he figures out that a deer tick went in your ear, and that's why you're having these symptoms. So I automatically think I have a stroke. I ended up going to my doctor yesterday, and she calls me a wimp, and she's been my doctor forever. But I do have a pinched nerve in my neck, which causes
No, you talked to her forever? I can't believe that. Jeez, you like to talk? I didn't know.
No. But I have a pinched nerve, so you see me do this a couple of times. It's not a I don't have any kind of twitch. It just so I have to go for an MRI and all that shit. You know what? I might look good, but shit. Let me ask you this, because you're 38. But you remember when you had a cold when you were 17 or 18? You got over it in a day. Now it takes a week.
Aging, I know. As you get older, I mean, things happen, man. It's just part of life, And you're not alone. Just remember, everybody's got something. But thank God, just a pinched nerve, and you'll take care of it, and it'll heal, and you'll move on. Yeah. When you stop talking, that's when I know something's wrong. When you stop yapping, that's when I'm like, wait a minute, hold everything, baby. You like to talk a lot. By the way, what was I going to say? So you're looking forward to football. And then next week, your Raiders. Oh my goodness, it's great. It's great. Great time of year.
Let me. I threw this out, and someone said you should put this on your podcast. But I just said that. What I'm going to give you the 2 seasons. What is Brad? I almost know what you are. This is the 1 season of the next season. This season, right now, you got college and football starting. You got the baseballs going through its home stretch toward its playoffs. The NBA and the NHL, they go to training camp in 2 weeks. Or are you the other? March Madness, basketball, and hockey go towards their playoffs, and baseball's starting. What's Brad Grumberg?
It's this time of year. I love this
Okay.
time of year. I love this time of year, but I love it all. I love March Madness. I just love sports. I mean, you and I, we both love sports. That's our thing.
Yeah, I love this time of year too. I love the other part also. I love, but I'm still missing football when it's the springtime. So hello to you, all the guys that are putting. Bobby Owens was in last night or 4 or 5 hours ago. He's putting one of the big part of the Nick Pasquale Foundation,
Oh,
and
great.
they're putting a big thing for us to come down. They're going to take care of it and what have you, and we're going to hopefully get down there October 11th. We will and do our podcast. A lot of celebrities down there. Nick Pasquale Foundation. Brad, tell them what it's all about. We'll tell them what happened and how they provide scholarships for kids.
It's wonderful. I mean, the family is wonderful in Nick's name. I mean, they had such a tragedy in their life, but they're taking the tragedy and touching lives with it, and Nick is definitely smiling in heaven.
Yeah. They sent me a video I was going to show, but I couldn't get it on the show. But it was a young kid at UCLA wanted to wear number 36, and he went to the parents and he said, "I like to wear that with honor," And UCLA
Wow,
retired the jersey, so this year number 36 will be worn. I can't think of the kid's name, but I hope you had a Heisman-like season.
what a guy. Can you imagine, with everything going on in the world, all the people, the selfish people, it's all about me, me, me. Here's a kid who says, Mom, Dad, I want to wear 36, to honor Nick.
Yeah, it
You
is.
don't
And Nick
find
died
people
years ago.
like that. You just don't. Not in this world. And everybody is so into themselves. But there's a good egg.
You're a good egg. So how was your week?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're a slub. Two
Schlub.
questions. Two questions. I want you to educate me.
Okay.
2 questions. One, how was your week? And number two, I saw you posted on social media. It was great. I mean, I'm so in love with your dog Annie. What a sweetheart. It was International Dog Week. What went on last week with dogs? First your week in dogs.
No, it was great. I found out, of course, I knew that International Dog Day, and you honor your dog. You show your dog, you talk about your dog, and dogs are better than people. So it was a special day all over the world for dogs. So
Good.
and I posted my beautiful Annie, and I always talk about her. She's right over here next to me. Like is Molly with you right now?
No, but Molly, she's on the couch right now. She did watching the Penn State game, but she looks when she hears you talk, the ears go up for 2 reasons. One, she thinks you're going to steal one of her treats, or she just hears another voice and doesn't see me talking. It's the craziest thing. So go.
Oh,
So, like, I wish I could take a
it's
picture
good.
of it.
Yeah, I
it's
love
funny.
her treats. When I was over, I stole a couple, but she didn't
Yeah.
see me, so everything's good.
The tuna salmon bites is big in the Brad Grumberg world, ladies and gentlemen. So, no, everything's good. Like I said, we're loving what we have to do with this time of the year. I'm going to show you a couple. I'm going to get a couple of memes in here because I'm going to do a thing about. You name the movie if I show this, and the second one you're going to get in a second. But if you saw it, where did you see it? Because when Brad and I were younger, we had to go to the movie theaters. So here's
Correct.
the first one. I'll give you hints from the 1970s.
Oh boy. Oh, I don't know.
Can I give you a line from the movie? Because I'll give you the movie.
Okay.
Warriors, come out and
Warriors come out and
play.
play. Oh yeah, great film. That
Did
was an awesome film.
Did you ever work with Walter Hill? Because that was his first film. He went on to. He's still an extensive career in
48
Hollywood.
hours. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
never worked with Walter Hill, but do I love his work. I mean,
Oh,
48 Hours is one of the best movies ever. The kids that are watching and listening, download, go find 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy. Oh, so good, right? I remember Billy Bear. That was the villain, and all that good stuff. I love when
Sonny Landham.
when he
Sonny
talks
Landham is the actor that played
technology
him.
and he says, come. Remember when he walks into the Hick bar and he goes, come watch my shit. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. And Nick Nolte and him were so good. They were so good together.
Did you know? I like going behind the scenes. You brought up 48 Hours, and there's a lot of improv between both of those guys. And I know. Have you ever based on that? Have you ever been given the liberty to improv on some of your scenes, and the director said yes?
Yeah,
And
it all
anything
depends.
you've done?
You talk to the director. Usually you do your work, and then he goes, "All right, I'm giving you one." At the end, do whatever you want. Yeah, play with it, do whatever you want, and sometimes they use it. You never know. But I like a director that is open to that.
Right.
Because we're actors, we create. That's why they hired us. So, yeah, I have been given that liberty.
Right. Well, go back to this real quick to just give the audience
give me another one. Yeah,
well, give me a tease of first of all, the Warriors is about all the gangs in New York go to Manhattan because Cyrus, the leader of the gang, there's 100,000 gang members in Manhattan. They want to take over the cops and take over the city. That's all I'm going to say. It's a great, not a formulaic hour and 32-minute film. You'll recognize a lot of people that are actors nowadays in it. Michael Beck, real quick, the good-looking guy in the front. There's Thomas Waite. James Remar. James Remar is the last guy. He was the bad guy in 48 Hours. So you see,
right.
Walter Hill used a lot of those guys. So
I got your money. I got dang. And then he goes, and then remember Nick Nolte looks at him at the end. He goes, "You're done. End of story." Bam.
Yeah.
Bam.
And he goes, and he goes, his name was Gans. Remember, that was his name.
Yeah.
The villain's name was Great Villain.
Great. James Remar is such a great actor. He's done so much.
And
it's always the villain.
But it's good to know they start. You see when these guys start. That's his first film, 1979. Here's a film from the 80s. You'll give it to me. I want your favorite line. And is this the lead actor's best role, in your opinion? What movie's that?
Scarface, baby. Al Pacino. Yeah. Here's my line. "Say hello to my little friend." Yeah. And he blows everybody away. Al Pacino, he's done so much, but this is really one of, I guess, top three, right? Top three films with Godfather and the rest.
You're my guru of the entertainment. We're sports entertainment. Brad will go to me for everything sports other than the NBA, which he knows more. But anything entertainment, I go to this guy because, in your opinion, like when you, I've never asked you this and people ask me this. Jason Bennett, our Philly guy, asked me this question. Did Brad go to acting school? Did you?
No, I did. I did Groundlings and I did a method class just to get the basics. See, comic actors are really good actors because it's so hard to do comedy. Dramatic actors doing comedy. I've talked to a lot of actors, really good dramatic actors, and they go, "I wish I could do what you do." Comedy with the beats and the technique. But I did Groundlings and I did a scene study, I'm a character. I mean, I'll tell you, I was always the class clown. Can you believe it? I was always the class clown, and I got, thanks to Peter McGregor Scott, he gave me that part in Revenge of the Nerds. By the way, 40 years, Revenge of the Nerds anniversary. It changed my life, man. And I'll tell you my line in that. So my buddy from my fraternity, Taylor, his joke was, "What did the Pink Panther say when he stepped on an ant? Dead ant, dead ant." And then the crowd boos. And then mine was, "What's the dirtiest thing ever said on television?" And Taylor goes, "Tell me." "Ward, I think you're a little hard on the Beaver last night." Leave It to Beaver, a 50s TV show, and Beaver was the kid, Ward was the father, and
we get it. But you had the funnier line. I just watched that film last Friday. I was on my bike doing some work, working out. It's on, and it's one of these films that you were in, like the Caddyshack and the John Candy movies from the 70s and 80s. that still hold to this day. That show,
Yep.
48 Hours, still holds to this day. And
Sure.
that's pure cinematic genius. So when you, real quick, Tony Visick, we've had on the show twice. He runs a comedy show. So he was at the Lee Strasberg Academy off Melrose, right?
Right.
And he goes, why don't you go to an acting class with me? Just sit in on it and watch. And I went, and I kept going back because I could not believe how gorgeous all these people were and the girls. And I went to try and get laid. I didn't want to be an actor,
No.
And also, Tony said if you go, there's a great taco place right next across the street there called Los Tacos, which is still there. I guarantee
Yes.
you know what it is. You've eaten there. But
Of
I
course.
could not believe, and you don't have this, but people. There must have been 25 people in his class, gorgeous, and everyone, the ego. This is 1983. The egos were incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't remember one of those people. And I went to acting class with him 6, 7 times. I have a good memory. I don't ever remember any of them making it, So it's when you see people like Brad and you see the strikes that affected Hollywood, not everyone, just because Brad acts, not everyone makes a living at it. They all
Nope.
strive to make a living at it, but it's like anything else in life, it's luck, it's a crapshoot. You have to have talent, but
Yep.
tell them the struggles you went through.
Right place, right time, and ready to go with your talent, because you might like, I'll give you an example. Bruce Willis walked in for Moonlighting, and he was a bartender in New York, and that was his moment. Moonlighting made Bruce Willis. Because of Moonlighting, he got Die Hard, and the rest is history.
Well,
But
he had talent.
yeah, the one thing people have to understand is, you come to Hollywood, I've met so many people. Oh, I'm the hottest girl in my town. Look at my body. Look at my face. Or a guy said, look at my abs. I go, buddy, honey, this is the big town. Guess what? There's 20,000 people better looking than you, more talented than you. Get in line, baby. But, here's the thing about being an actor. If you want to be an actor, never give up, because even actors today that work and they're big stars, they can tell you stories about going on auditions and thank you very much, and never getting anything, then getting one thing or 3 in a row. You know how things happen in threes. That happened to me. I was 30 years old. My mom said, maybe you should find something else to do. And I go, Mom, I love this. I'm going to make it. And she goes, look around. So I said, oh, okay. To appease her, I said, yes. I got Striptease with Demi Moore. I got a TV pilot, and 2 national commercials. So I knew the universe was talking to me and saying, you just stay where you are, kid, and you keep making people laugh. And that's what I've done.
My brother Bobby had a question. So I told him sometimes I throw things by him, and I said I'm gonna ask Brad a lot about the business.
I like Bobby better than you.
So do I. I like Bobby better than me. And we talked about this on a previous show, but we're 75 in. It could be 30 shows ago. So I like 2 things. Is it easier because now I hear, because he's in the business, he works at Universal Studios as a lawyer. Is it easy? Was it easy? I know
we
it's
need more
harder
of
to
those.
do.
We need more lawyers.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Anyways, question was, when back in the day, and so to this day, you could get discovered like Keanu Reeves in a surf shop or Michelle Pfeiffer at a supermarket, and you had to go on auditions, and that's very, very tedious and very, very anxiety ridden. But is it true nowadays that you just could put a sizzle reel up? There's not so much an audition anymore. You just gotta put something on film. You have to spend money to send it to a casting director, or are they still doing auditions?
Oh yeah, they do self-tape auditions. It all changed with COVID.
Self-tape.
Yeah, it all changed with COVID. We used to go in and read, but what's nice for them now, casting directors, is they save a lot of time. You go to a person, or you do it yourself, a self-tape of your audition, and you send it in. Your agent sends it in to the casting director, or you upload it to a site. And they
Okay.
I mean, it's the thing is can they look at every self-tape? No, they can't. So you just got to keep plugging along and never give up. That's the thing. Yeah, Bobby, that's what's happening. It's all self-tape.
I'm going to jump on that. Here's the problem I have with what you just said. You're giving the
Oh no, you have a
answer.
problem with something I said?
Oh yeah. Put something in your mouth. Eat. That's right. Drink some cold cloud water. By the way, we'll talk about that. So the problem I have with that is when you go to an audition. Let's say the audition is for your agent says you're going to be on ER, okay, and you're going to be a staff nurse that greets a guy at the emergency room for triage for a heart attack, okay. So you have to go. So they tell you that now, and then you go and self-tape that. Whereas if you're in if you're in an audition room, maybe someone could read the other part with you. Usually when you go to an audition, and you're in their cast, isn't there 4 or 5 people in that room usually watching you?
Oh, when
you're auditioning in the old days, there's 4 or 5
here's how it
people.
goes. Here's how it used to go. You'd audition and then you get a call back and you go in. This is scary. Okay. You'd walk into the room on a callback. So, and there would be 20 people looking at you, 20 people staring at you. And that's intimidating, right? And they're not even giving you, saying it's a comedy. They're not giving you any laughter in the spots that they should laugh. And they're just like, they're stone faced. They just been there all day watching actors come in. And it's just, it's a tedious, you just got to really believe in yourself because it's, you could be there after lunch. They're tired from, lunch or one, somebody has to take a poo-poo and they're just, anything can happen. You walk in, you do the best you can, and then you leave and forget about it because it's out of your hands. That's what it is. And by the way, even if you have a bad audition, you could get the part because they like you and they like your look and they like your resume. Okay. And that's how it goes.
Here's my point. Or here's my
you have a point?
I think when you do it like
hold on. Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Just from a layman's eyes, I think when you do an audition and you're reading and they see the physicality of your movement, exactly, they could say to each other, you know what, Brad's not right for the Jimmy part, but Robbie, the ambulance chaser, he's perfect. You can't do that on a self-tape. It just doesn't make sense. So aren't you limiting yourself?
They look at the self-tape and they think about that. They go, he's not right for Johnny, but he would be great for Eddie. By the way, you brought up ER. And I met Little Farley for an audition for ER and his beautiful mom and Nikki. And that's how I met him. We were at Warner Brothers and I was reading for a part. I got the part and it was, you won't believe this one. This is crazy. I come out of the ambulance in the ER and I'm with my dominatrix woman. Okay. I got a hood on. I got the whole leather outfit on, the bondage, the whole thing. And basically you don't see me because they didn't want me to take off my mask. Okay. And basically she put me on a hook and I on the ceiling. And of course I was so heavy. I landed on her and broke her finger. And that's my beautiful, that was my beautiful experience on ER. And it was great, man. Noel Wiley was so cool. And I must have done it 50 times, but I was scared because I had to go to West Hollywood. Okay. And I had to be fitted for this outfit. Okay. And this is crazy stuff, man. This is a leather outfit with this hood. I don't know where people get the thrill of putting on this hood because it's so claustrophobic. And I was so scared. I had all this anxiety the night before. I called my buddy who was the AD, assistant director. His name is George Fortmiller. And he said, don't worry, we'll work on it on the set. We'll talk to the director. We'll loosen your mask. And it worked out because they just let me, put on the mask, but not tighten it. Because when the guy in West Hollywood tightened it, I'm like, holy shit, I can't breathe, So I know you were into dominatrix before you met your beautiful wife. But that was
keep going.
And Little Farley was so cute. He was, I taught him a lesson. So we were outside, we're talking, and he was starting to kill like bees or I don't know what he was doing. And I go, listen, Little Farley, you don't kill. Just, take that little worm or whatever you're trying to step on and throw it back into the bushes. Right. And he looked at me like, who the fuck are you?
Well,
Mom, who's this fat guy?
yeah.
Trying to
Little
give me life.
Farley is Aiden. Little Farley is Aiden Minks, works at Chuck's Tavern, also in season 6 of Cobra Kai and the movie Ted. You can catch the Fat Fish podcast on Facebook Live, YouTube, DBTV, Roku, and Podbean.com for our listening audiences, soon Apple and Spotify. And then clips of Fat Fish, especially clips of this guy in the past, TikTok at Fish6134. I want to thank the staff at Shucks Tavern. They've been so supportive of this podcast and telling people, and the bartenders. We got even the servers from Tommy to Michael and all and Sparkles. I'll go through. I'll say them all. Josh, Jeremy, Karina, Nikki, Amanda, Chris, Michael, myself are the bartenders. Josh and Jeremy, manager, assistant manager. I spew a lot. What I say is not the opinions of Shucks Tavern. I have to get that out there, but it's good to plug the place that I work because it allows me to do this. And Johnny Cocktails Entertainment is something that is a production company that Brad has. He's got a lot of projects going. You might see me on the big screen in 2025. I don't want to jinx it yet.
Yeah,
No?
don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
I won't jinx it. I'm not saying what. It could be a dominatrix role. Who knows?
Oh, you'd be great in that. Yeah.
Oh, I'd be great. Let me tell you something, Brad. If I'm holding up and I fall, I'm not breaking anyone's thumb. I'm svelte. I'm a svelte man. So,
oh my. Shucks Tavern, let me tell you, I've been to a lot of sports bars, and this place is the best in Vegas. I don't care if you work there, but it's really great food, great people, and you're there and you're a great guy. And you know, behind the bar,
it's a fun. They give you a great atmosphere. They give you a lot of tools to succeed. And you know, we're in a rough economy right now in Las Vegas, but every shift I work, I get to meet new people and have new conversations. And I don't like to talk that much, as you could tell. So
no, not you. By the way, you know, I saw the movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise. There's a lot of truth in that movie. What makes a great bartender? Tell me what makes a great bartender.
I will tell you, great bartender. I've said this before a million times. Any idiot could pour a drink. That's why I said you'd be a good bartender. Any idiot could pour a drink. It's how you handle people that'll make you money and how you multitask. If you have 20 people at a bar or 15, I know how I could talk to you like a brother. Maybe the person that's gambling over here doesn't want to be talked to. They're quiet. They're into their machines. Maybe there's a couple over there. They're having a conversation. They don't want to talk. You really have to, as you do in an audition, 3 words: read the room.
Yes, true. I agree. I totally agree. You read the room in life. You read the room as a bartender. But you've been doing it a long time. Do you still love it? Do you still? I mean,
I still love it. I mean, it's physically it's taken a toll because I've done 44 years. Mentally, wow. I love it. I love working there because again, you know, they give me the autonomy to succeed. And I used to manage in that company for years. So they look at me as,
who are the owners again? Can you
Bob and I can't give full names, but Bob and Steve own it. They own the Montana. There's 2 Montana meat companies. I managed that place for 15 years and 2 Shucks. And they're great. They're big sports fans, family guys. I talk to Bob a lot, you know, big hockey, big Giants fan. Yeah. And you know, you when you're with the company 19 years, I left for a couple of years and I came back and I'm God, you know, this December
that was prison, right? You were in prison. That's right. You were in prison. Misunderstanding. Yeah. You'd be great. You last 10 minutes in prison. You stay prison 10 minutes.
No way. I'm too much of a. I could read. I could read the room in prison. I know who's coming after my ass.
You'd be scared. You'd be.
I know. In prison, I would. Brad, in prison, I would know who's coming after my ass, and I would know who I have to kiss up to protect my ass. And I got nice ass. I got nice big. I can show you pictures of mine.
If you have a nice ass, my friend.
Best ass in Brentwood, California, 83 through 85 in the bars. I won best ass.
Really?
You know? Not best face, not best bar. I had a great pooper.
Where did that get you in life? Where did that get you having the great ass? 0.
the same place that got you when you fell and broke that lady's finger.
Yeah. By the way, Vicky, did she see your ass, and that's what brought her over to the bar to meet you?
No, I told everyone a story about this. I'll make a long story short. I go to the DJ and I go, "Who's that broad down there? She's got a jean jacket on, jeans. She's got a shot of tequila and a Miller Lite." He goes, "I don't know, ma'am. She danced with everybody. I've never seen her leave with anybody." Oh, okay, here comes my mullet with my 2 hoop earrings. I walk down there, and she puts her hand up like this and goes, "Hold it right there, because I see you try and take every girl out of here." like that. And I said,
Oh, I
okay,
like that.
now it's on, you know.
Right,
And
the challenge, right? I mean, everybody loves a challenge. That's why
yeah,
I hear these
she was
stories from all these
yeah,
people.
and I'm blessed. If anything from that, Brad will drive around town in LA. I love it. He sends me videos when he goes by Katsuya, which is a sushi, very famous sushi place that Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, enthusiasm. We're going to show Brad's take on that next week. Is Jonah the roofer? He does a lot of shit, a lot of his sushi stuff in that restaurant. That's the Old Mom Saloon, and I just get
Oh, that's
I
right.
get the willies when I see it. But if anything of that 12 years I worked there is I met my wife. You know,
That's
I
great.
met you. I met you because of Mom
That's
Saloon.
right. Because we did a the Johnny Cocktail show, and
Yeah.
you worked on it. It was great, and you were in it. You and Sam Perkins walked into the All American Burger. We did
Yeah.
the spoof on Fast Times. I was Brad Hamilton, and you were. And can you believe Sam Perkins put on he wore the OP shorts and he put on that wig for me? Shout out
When
to
you
Sam
you know
Perkins,
when
my man.
we're allowed to show that full thing on here because I still think it's brilliant. I'll give a little tease. When he wakes up and he sees you standing there, I can't stop.
Ah,
It's like anytime, like when you're watching Revenge of the Nerds, the opening scene when they're driving, and all of a sudden you hear the two guys
yeah,
and the
yeah,
dad James
right.
Cromwell the laugh. How do you not laugh when that happens?
Of
You know,
course. No,
or
absolutely. No,
when you see when you see the scene from Animal House when the otter's trying to tell the host they're having
oh,
that kind of like
yeah.
that what is it called
In the sorority, when he walks in the sorority, is that when you're
well
talking about?
that but
Yeah.
what's it called when you have a trial that's that's like you just know it's going to be
When when they
he's
were
trying to
brought up
defend
on
his fraternity
charges,
by having a toga party,
right?
and he looks at the dean because he banged the dean's wife, and he goes, sure. Did we have a toga party and take some liberties with some of the women there? And he goes, like that at the dean. There's not. You can laugh every time you see that, Brad. I laugh every time, Brad. I laugh when I see. I kept this in the queue because Vicky goes, show that to me. That's funny.
There's what a handsome guy.
Look at that guy.
Look
You
at
know.
that's a great. I can't believe I captured Annie with her head on the pillow, and it's great. No, I
What would be the
posted that as
caption?
J
What?
Lo's new man. That's me. She
Well, good luck with
She
that.
left Ben for me. Look, she should go out with a guy like me. J Lo, if you're
We're,
listening or watching,
we're gonna sell that every
I'm gonna
week.
take you out, girl. I'm gonna show you a good time, make you laugh every day. J
You know
Lo,
what? Look at that face on Annie. You know what Annie's caption is? If we're right in the bottom there where the crawl is,
but
Brad, please, not Chick-fil-A today. Can we go to In-N-Out Burger? I like their fries.
Annie, she's she's right here. I love her so much.
I know.
She's my
You
dog.
love your dog, and you get me. I love I have a dog and a cat, and
Yeah,
we're watching it. And I just, if whenever I'm down and I get depressed, sometimes I look at that dog and think, all that dog cares about is me rubbing her belly. Unconditional love. We say this every podcast. We're born the shit out of you. But guess what? If you have an animal and you love them, you know exactly what we're saying.
go rescue a dog. Go rescue a dog. It'll change your life forever. You'll thank me in the morning.
No.
It'll,
Go rescue Jennifer Lopez from him. Hey Affleck, you want J Lo
Jennifer
back?
Lopez went out with me, and we got it on, and we got married. I would
Oh,
never talk to you again. I would get rid of you right away. No.
let me tell you something.
You
If you
know,
got, I think J Lo is very attractive, and I don't know what goes on with her men in life. She needs a guy like you to kind of humble her. But if you got it on with her, I guarantee. I've always said this. There would have to be a defibrillator in the room because that the heart the blood pressure goes 290 over 120. You know, it's like this fucking show I watched, World Painter. I thought I'm having a stroke. You know, but wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great to stroke out and have a heart attack to that? Other than some of the broads you pay for?
sure, why not? Whatever you say.
Oh, what did
I
I say?
agree.
Here, you want to see something about women that I want to show
Yeah.
you? Read that.
5 stages of a woman's life.
Can you read it?
No,
I'll
I
tell you what
can't.
I'll do. Well, I'll tell you
You-
why. Because you can't see that because of that. Okay.
Okay.
So the 5 stages are to grow up, to fill out, to slim down, to hold it all in, and the 5th one says, "Oh, the hell with it."
Oh, that's good. That's great. There
Yeah.
she is with her girlfriends, all her besties. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Let me show you another one. Let me show you a couple more.
Sure.
This is just dear to my heart because Vegas is next weekend is gonna be the biggest weekend in Vegas as far the 3 biggest weekends are Super Bowl, New Year's Eve, and the opening of the NFL season. But George Carlin, who I told a great story about, always opened his show and says, he goes, the Rat Pack. He goes, you think they ever got laid when they came to Vegas? Look at these guys.
Ah,
Peter
that is
Lawford, Peter
wow.
Lawford, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra. One, have you ever worked with any of those guys, or did you ever meet any of them?
No, but I went to see Sammy Davis Jr. in Vegas, and it was an incredible show.
Right.
He was such a great entertainer, and what a life he led. Gee, all those guys, man. That was a special time in Vegas, man. I'll tell you, when the mob ran Vegas, they ran it well. They knew how to treat their customers. They didn't say, "Oh, I can't give you a buffet. You got to go play for 4 more hours at the blackjack table." I mean, come on, give them 5 buffets. They'll come back and spend money and gamble. I mean, it's so stupid. When the corporations took over,
corporate.
It's just terrible. They ruined it. They ruined it. I just
we'll get John Orlando on again because he knows some great stories too. But I've been there long enough to know that when the mob ran it, a big roll. Let's say Brad Grumberg's a huge roller. You could call from LA and say, well, let's say you can call from LA and say send a jet from Caesar's Palace, and they would. And a car to your house to take you to the private wing at LAX, and the jet take you there. Anything you want, anything you did. Now it's got to be, well, did he accumulate much points? I don't know if we could do the mileage, and it doesn't work. That nothing works that way anymore. There's no old school, nothing.
A lot of these corporations, if they ran Vegas like the mob, they'd make a lot more money, guaranteed.
We make money here. I mean, the strip's doing great. It's just the outskirts. We sometimes. We're feeling the economy. So we're going to approach. This is my favorite football picture. This is the great Walter Payton. Remember him?
Sweetness.
Look at the levity of that thing. I'm using the wrong word. The levity of that. I mean, he's parallel up the ground. He's at the goal line going for a touchdown. One of the greatest players ever. Where I'm going with this is football stuff. You talk about it. I don't know how you feel about this, but I found out just by listening, it was Bill Maher or something like that. 90% of all ads, TV ads, are going to be political. And whether you like Harris, you like Trump, I don't want to see that. I'm tired of it. It's most of it's bullshit. They hate the other one. This one hates this one. This one likes the one. And then you get the local ones. You're going to go through the Gascon. All the people locally in LA are going to buy time that are running. We got the ones here with Jackie Rosen and other people, Sam Brown. So here's my point. Here's my thing. It's 2 minutes. The minute you see them go to black, fade to black to go to commercial from a timeout, put your phone on 2 minutes, mute it, and then go back.
Okay. Advice.
What do you do? I mean, are you into that? Because we're gonna have that until November 5th, Brad.
I know. Well, that's part of politics. I can't stand politics, but listen, we just got to make sure you listen. Everybody, if you like Trump, you like Harris, just vote. Everybody should vote. Get out and vote. That's why we live in America. Vote.
Yeah. If you don't vote, I'm one of these people thought, if you don't vote, then don't give me like you hate something. Did you leave? Well, my vote never counts. But at least you made a statement that you felt someone's policies are better for you or the country. If you don't vote, then what are you complaining about? It's free. It's your God-given right.
Yeah. Every vote counts because it's going to be, listen, it's going to be close probably. And, your vote, you listen, every vote counts. Get out and vote. And all those kids that are now 18 and they can vote.
Vote. Get out and vote. We'll talk more about it as we get closer to it. But again, election night is November 5th. And thank God there's so many sports on. With the NBA started already, hockey, you got football. Because the worst thing you could ever do in a bar, and I've said this on every time, do not any bars out there that listen to the Fish or bartenders, do not put the election on Tuesday night on your swing shift, which is because with the sound, because instant fist fights. I'm telling you, people, I've worked graveyard, but I've worked elections before, and people put the election on. No, why? I go because obviously you want to start something. And I'm not putting the sound on because I want music. This is the diversion. So you tell people right now, if you want to know what's going on to the election, look at your phone. It's probably quicker on your phone than it is on ABC or Fox or CNN. So
All day
Hey,
you get those emails. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Roll in. Last football one. We're inundating you with football. Thing
Oh
about dogs and
God.
our dogs. Roll in with the Raider Nation. Look at that.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that great?
great.
That's the
Gangsta
Raider Nation.
tatted
That's a
up.
look. God, that is so great. Look at the muscles on that thing. You
That
know,
is funny. That is great. That's a great fit. Where'd you get that? Where'd you find that?
I got a meme off one of the Raider sites. You know,
Oh, that's
and I
great,
said,
man. That's funny.
Brad's gonna love this. That dog pulls into one of the drive-ins that you go to. He's
Yeah.
eating more than you, pal.
By the way, how are the Raiders going to do this year? I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to do better than last year. I think.
Yeah, well, they won 8 games last year. So in any sport, football, when you win a certain amount of games, you always want to go 3 games better. So if they get to 11-6, I'd be ecstatic. Their
That's
defense is going to be good. They
yeah.
got this loose cannon kid named Gardner Minshew with the big mullet, and he's a hippie as a
Yeah.
quarterback. I'm optimistic, but I'm also jaded. Just
Sure.
19 of the last 21 seasons, kills me to
Wow.
say this, have been non-winning. So you've never gone through that with the Warriors. Never had 2 decades of losing. But I'm very optimistic. I'm very happy with Mark Davis as far as what he did with the general manager. I love Antonio Pierce's enthusiasm and passion as a
Yeah.
coach, and I'm praying. So
Well,
I
well,
got Texas. They'll go Orange, go Raiders.
you know, uh, analogy would be going in and auditioning or doing a self tape and being a Raider fan, because as an actor, you're always told, "Oh, that was fantastic," and that you leave and you never, get the part. Maybe you'll go 10 auditions and nothing, and then the 11th you get it. Same like the Raiders. 19 out of 20 years, you're a diehard fan. You come back every year, and you have that passion, the
Loyal,
passion,
loyal.
loyal
That
to,
never. Jerry
to
Grumberg will tell you the same thing that Marv told me. Never quit your team. Don't be a
yeah,
bandwagon guy because you're just not a sports fan. You're just the flavor of the month. No, you love your Warriors, and the Warriors have had they've had some great seasons, and they've had some disappointing seasons.
yeah,
Same with the Raiders. So you don't quit your team.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So
By the
that's
way,
it.
I want to talk about something. It's called Cloudwater. We promote it here at Fat Fish Podcast. This is a great seltzer. I've never been into seltzers, but uh, Mark and Barry, the owners of the company, this is the best. It's called Cloudwater. Go to cloudwaterbrands.com. That's cloudwaterbrands.com. Use our family friendly discount, Fatfish20, and get yourself a case of this. It's so good. It's so good for you. It's so good for your gut. I have a big gut. I love my gut, so I drink a lot of this, and you will thank me in the morning. It's so good, right? I mean, let's see, what am I drinking today? I'm drinking peach mango. Oh boy, oh, it's so good. And then you can use this as a mixer, put some vodka in there, and really have a good time. So
Yeah.
remember, cloudwaterbrands.com.
They must be running out because I'm waiting for mine. But I will tell Mark and Barry that I drank 2 cases of that with my son up in
Oh,
Big Bear a few weeks ago, and my wife. And it's yeah, you can mix it. We put some gin in there, and I also blended it. I blended it with some gin. I made like a tequila sunrise blended with the watermelon and whatever the watermelon was. So
yeah,
tequila, orange juice, little grenadine, and the cloud
nice.
water. It was like a great Slurpee. It was tremendous, and
Yeah.
that's when you get you kind of homage to Frank Oli. You get your mixology going. Frank Oli, friend of the
Oh,
show,
Frankie, we
the
love
the
him.
the greatest drink sommelier I've ever met. It's talented. So, give me people say love this. You go first. Give me an Annie Klein story that we haven't heard before.
All
That
right, my grandma lived till 90 years old, and she was my best friend. And what was great is I took her to my first premiere, Striptease, in
yeah,
LA, and that was the last great event that we went to because we had a great time. She watching the movie and she's like, "What is this? Oh, there you are! I love it." But Nanny didn't like to tip. She When I asked her where she wanted to go, every birthday I took her to Lowry's Prime Rib, okay, on La Cienega,
sure.
and that was her favorite place. And every time I paid the bill, she'd look at me and give me that look, like, "How much did you tip him? Don't give him too much." I go, "Nanny, don't worry." And our favorite place is Andre's Spaghetti on 3rd Street across from the Grove. And it's so funny because as it's cafeteria style, so she knows you don't tip, but they do have a cup, right? As you pay for your pay your bill, and I always slip like a 10 in there. As she walks away, I'd slip a 10, and she caught me one time. She caught me. She goes, why did you tip them? I go, Nanny, they're working their ass off to make sure that you get your hot spaghetti, and I can give them a couple of dollars. Oh no, you don't. But it was fun. It was fun. I miss her so much. I mean, God, man, we had so many fun times, so many laughs. And her cackle, of course, you hear at the end of every Fat Fish podcast. She had the best cackle in the world. She was a special person, And by the way, and we talked about this last week, call your grandparents. Go see them. They're not going to be here forever. Wake the fuck up and go see them. I mean, spend a half hour with them. And I know a lot of people that don't go see their grandparents. Shame on them. Remember, the grandparents have already lived their life. They lived through you vicariously through their grandkids. So I just
and we said this last week, and I'll move on. That you're the legacy. They look at you as, hey, we're going to be gone one day, and then it goes down to the kids, and the grandkids are going to live the next generation, and it moves the Grunberg and Klein name on. That's it. It's all meant. The DNA moves on.
Absolutely.
So, I get teary-eyed because I had the same relationship with my grandmother, and I know how much you loved your nanny, so I want you to talk about it because it shapes the kind of person you are. I'm going great-grandfather. I had a great-grandfather, Izzy, and his wife, Frida, and they had this beautiful duplex on 6th Street in Sweetser that I believe Bruce Springsteen bought from them years ago. They had this for those hardwood floors. Upstairs is Uncle Jack and my Aunt Jeanette, and below is my grandfather, Lenny and Rose, and Frida and Izzy. Beautiful place. They had the slip covers. You could say so. They get a brand new 1974 color TV set, and you had to use. It wasn't no remote control. You had to do this. The whole family. No. Jack and Jeanette never came down because they didn't want to be around family. It's the whole thing's family. All the cousins, Robin, Randy, my mom, dad, my sister, my brother. There's got to be 25 people to watch a Kentucky Derby. Right.
Oh wow!
And they cook like it's like it's a holiday, like it's Thanksgiving, and we're gonna watch a Kentucky Derby. I'm sitting on my grandfather's lap. I'm not sitting. I'm 15 years old. My sisters, we're all having a good time, and you could hear my grandfather. He's one of these guys when he walked, he never picked his feet up, so his feet slid across the floor, and it sounded like. And that's right when it comes to post time. He comes over and he takes it. He walks to the thing. And he turns the channel and they go, Pop, what are you doing? Everyone, what are you? And he goes, it's my TV. And I'll watch what I want to watch. God damn it. So we got it back on there. And then all of a sudden, when it's over, he goes and turns it. He loved to watch bowling. Remember bowling was on Saturday afternoons?
Yeah. Right. Bowling for dollars. Bowling for dollars.
No, regular bowling. And they would show when you bowl, they would show in black and white the score. And he would go, across with the X's, Wojcik, because the X's meant a strike. I mean, it was, and I loved the dinners. The dinners were great with the family and the talking and they'd be playing cards, right? All the old ones. The grandma Frida, this and that. My grandfather Lenny would say, Rosie, from New York, you gonna throw a card? I just had a birthday.
Oh God!
I mean, it was the family memories I have, and I'll say this in every podcast. The good you see in me, and I'm a maniac, and I'm a hypochondriac, I'm a nervous guy. But the good you see in me comes from those family times, just like you and Nanny.
Absolutely. No. I mean, my dad's parents, they passed when I was young, but my grandma, Herman Klein, I was named after him. He very sadly had a heart attack before I was born, but Nanny lived till 90, and my relationship with her was so special. It was just incredible. And
I could tell. Did your brother and sister have the same relationship with her, or
no,
you were like her special guy?
I had a very different relationship than anybody. I mean, when I was little, I just loved my grandma. I just loved her. And as I grow older, I just included her all, it's just, I'll tell you something. It's special because my grandma was such a character. You know what I'm saying? And I learned so much. If I listen to my grandma, my life would be much better now. You know.
Well, you
Tough,
didn't. You didn't listen to your grandmother because you're a great tipper. That's you tell us one story that would
but
affect me in my
no,
business. Yeah, I
no,
know.
but
Hey, let me
you know,
ask you something personal. Okay,
no, please don't.
no, we're live and
Bobby,
we're
are
big.
you listening to this, buddy?
We're big in Bangladesh according to DBTV. So we're listening to them talk about
Bangladesh.
this.
I love
Um,
Bangladesh.
then give us money, help us make a living with this thing. Anyways,
Yes.
I gotta ask, did you speak at your grandmother's funeral? I could only imagine you did. Did you when they did I tell people to come up and talk?
Yeah. There was a very small, we're at Hillside,
I know
and
Hillside.
yeah. You know what was interesting? This is interesting. This is 1996, and my grandma passed, and I got to say goodbye to her. I gave her a foot massage. She passed away at my parents' apartment, and I gave her a foot massage. I gave her a kiss, and the guys came to pick her up. This is hilarious. And so we're out, we're there, and they went in the room. This big guy, this big, huge guy, and this little tiny guy, like Tattoo. They come in and they're like reading off like a book. Are so sorry for your loss and blah blah blah. And then I think my dad said something like Nanny would say, "Put me down. Where are you taking me?" That kind of thing. So they strapped her to the gurney, and then we went. They took her to Hillside. But when they opened the coffin, I don't know if you know this, to make sure that that's your loved one before they had.
I mean, to laugh.
And literally, my grandma, they opened it up, and she was wearing this great like tracksuit. Her lipstick looked great. Her earrings, everything was great. And then I gave her a kiss, and she was, they put her in the fridge. She was very cold, and I can just hear her saying, "Oi, get me my sweater. It's a chukvint. I'm freezing." And they closed the coffin, and then we went. Yes, I did
Great.
before they put her in, and it was nice. It was nice because, and then I got to design her headstone. It's beautiful. Maybe I'll send you the picture. We'll show it one time. It's her hand knocking on her end table next to her bed with her wedding ring on, and basically it says, "You should only sei gesund." That means you should only live and be well. And
So
it's
Hillside, is that Hillside 405 going towards Inglewood?
correct.
Because my family's Forest Lawn up there in Glen
Oh yeah,
Burbank up in the hills there, where most of the
big Don
yeah.
Rickles is there. By the
Yeah,
way, real
yeah.
quick
Well,
story.
it's
I got a call, lift call, pick up these two people, nice couple in Hollywood, and I go, we're going to Forest Lawn. He goes, "Yeah, I want to see Don Rickles." So I
shit.
called Tony O. I didn't know where Don was, and we were looking around, and I called Tony O. He told me exactly where it was, and he's in this little corner with all his family, his wife Barbara, and his son, his wonderful son. So sad, he passed away in the prime of his life, and his mother-in-law. They're all together, and it was really cool. Don, you know how I feel about Don Rickles. So yeah. No, it's
We're
big
lucky.
stars up there. Big stars at Forest Lawn.
Yeah,
That's the Jewish part. Yeah.
Yeah, your grandmother's a big star, and I don't know many. I don't want to know many funerals. We've got, you're 38, so you got another 50 years left. But a guy like me, I'll be 64, 64. By the way, a little teaser.
When is your birthday?
Next Saturday.
When's your birthday?
September 15th.
All right.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Be 64.
Nice.
Next week we're going Saturday again. We're going to have a return guest from the Game and Winning podcast. John Hardison is going to tell you how to bet the first week of the NFL. And Brad and I I'm going to take his advice and make the bets. You'll know it.
John.
We'll do it Saturday. And like I said, it's a big day for us. So, Brad, you want to get us out of here?
Well, yeah. I just want to thank everybody for listening. I love you guys, and thank you for all the great comments. Definitely send us an email if you want us to talk about a certain subject. But yes, you have something to say.
Again, I have something to say.
I can't believe it.
Well, it goes like this, but we always have to pay tribute to. Here's a great score. Penn State's up 6-0 on West Virginia with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. But the bigger score is Okay. Keith Berman 7, chemotherapy
Yes.
0.
Yes.
Okay. And we love you, Keith. We know when we drop this, you're the first one to watch it. And we know how much you love Brad. You think I'm a schmuck, but you love Brad Grunberg, and you're going to see a lot of clips of Brad Grunberg, from Two Broke Girls to Curb Your Enthusiasm. Then he's got some other stuff coming out this year. Got a lot. I got the greatest Tom Sizemore Force clip, which is X-rated. But you know, if you think my grandmother got nervous about Nicolas Cage going down, wait till you see this one. So,
oh, God.
Keith, we love you.
Keith, we're thinking about you every day. You never give up, man. You're the best. I can't wait to physically meet you one day. Give you a big fucking hug and a kiss. Right. And by the way, we got to talk about Molly's challenge. Molly Klein was bullied to a point where she couldn't take it anymore. She took her own life. We got to get rid of bullying. I'm telling you, people, you tell your kids this is bullshit with the phones and the shit and the postings. And I mean, be kind, be nice, you know, be compassionate. You know, Molly was 13 years old. And she was the sweetest girl. And it was just so tragic. My buddy Andy Klein, who I went to elementary. I went to junior high and high school with, and his beautiful wife Stacy, just horrible, and her brother Matt. It breaks my heart.
If you follow Molly, and I read to it, and Andrew was on the show real quick. If you look into Molly, the Molly's Foundation and stuff like that, the challenge is exactly what Brad said. 13-year-old kids aren't smart enough. Okay, they're brutal. He was bullied. It's the parents. Teach your kids civility. Okay, we had, what was that? We have civics. What?
That was Annie. She's
hungry. Okay. Anyways, we had civics when we were to go teach kids to be nice. Teach your kids at least to be nice. If they can't be on their phones, monitor their phones. Watch what the fuck they're putting on social media and on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm a parent. Brad was, you do the same thing. You have to monitor what your kids put on their phones and what they attack people with, because it's hurtful.
I was bullied, you know, because I was a fat kid. But thank God I used my humor to deflect that. And it's terrible. It's really, really terrible.
We want to end on a positive. So
yes,
I just have a pinched nerve. I don't have a stroke yet.
Thank God.
And Bradley Grunberg and Fish, 75 episodes in. Brad, you got something to say before we blow out of here?
75, 76 next week. We're having the time of our life. Dave Linden, take us home, baby.
You've been listening to the Fat Fish Podcast, heard on all your favorite platforms. Until next time.